Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Uh, First of all, my sincere thanks for taking your time out and attending this webinar. I'm sure it is going to be a 1 hour packed with a lot of information on loyalty programs. I'll try to make it as interesting as possible. And if you have any questions, you can keep those questions for the end of the session, where our marketing team will take all the questions and I'll one will try and address your questions. In case if there are any questions left, definitely our marketing team will get back to you with the appropriate answers to your questions. Hi, thank you again. And this is Manish. I am going to be your partner today for this particular webinar. Now, when we talk in terms of track and trace and enhancing the customer engagement through loyalty programs, what does it throws or what does comes to our mind? A loyalty program. Maybe we all are part of some or the other part of a loyalty program, maybe with some airlines, maybe with hotels, retailers, or even maybe some drug stores. Some of you might be uh, 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 a loyalty member for Apollo pharmacies or some or the other drug stores in your area. So that's the importance of the loyalty program. The purpose of this topic is that when we look at the business today and the challenges and the disruptions of business today, which is there on our doorsteps on almost on an everyday basis, the customer retention and loyalty is something which is more important than ever. We, as Jackson, uh, have looked into it and have been trying that we should be able to capitalize on our solutions and introduce some kind of a solution to our customers in terms of loyalty programs. Because it's all about developing lasting relationships, developing long term loyalties with the customers. Focus is on the customer retention, serving them, because today we face the challenges of competition, price cut, and more so on counterfeit products. And this is where Jackson comes in picture, and that is where the loyalty program comes in picture. How do we champion this program? How do we make sure that this program is beneficial for both? That is, for the buyer as well as for the seller. And that is where, when we deep dive into the loyalty program, I think that is where we will be able to look into it. We will touch upon the history, the building blocks, Jackson traceability, architecture, some master data acquisitions, and then there will be a question and answer session. A little bit about Jackson. Founded in 2001 by our managing director and the founder of the company, Mr. Rishal Shah. His passion on the inspection systems has begun during his studies. He has studied his bachelor's in electronics engineering from Penn State University from Pennsylvania, USA. After completing his education, he started a company called Jekson Vision. The company today is a truly a multinational company. We hold our operations as a headquartered in India, in the state of Gujarat at Ahmedabad. Besides here, we have a very uh, uh, wide range of, I would say, the presence globally. We are placed out of in USA at Raleigh in North Carolina. In Europe, we have our headquarters in Malta, our newly developed facilities in Italy. We also run our AI center in Italy. We have a sales office in UK. And over and above that, we have, we have our engineers traveling all across the globe. As I said, we started in 2001, so almost about 23 years of experience, very good number of installations globally. We have about 9,000 plus working installations globally. Over 600 clients worldwide, more than 30 line products, and we serve, or you will find our solutions working successfully in over 95 countries. This is our global footprint. We spoke about US. We have a small office in Brazil, UK, Italy, Malta, and India, where we have our headquarters in. We have a very good product portfolio. If you look at it from reserve, reware, review, retrack, resource, resmart, from a 24/7 service support and all kind of services and consultancies in, as a part of reserve, reware, which is our warehousing solutions, review, which is all our inspection systems. And I think globally, Jekson is known for their inspection systems. We are into BIS, our BPO systems, which is barcode pharmacode readers, and also the tablet inspection and capsule inspection systems for your bulk lines. Retrack happens to be our a platform for complete track and trace for pharmaceuticals and non-pharmaceutical segments. We do operate out of in a lot of non-pharmaceutical segments as well. So Retrack takes care of everything into pharmaceutical and into non-pharmaceutical when it comes to track and trace. Resource, we offer a complete product range when it comes to track and trace. That is from L1 to L5. Resource happens to be our enterprise level and the connectivity to the global platforms of the data management. ReSmart, this is an addition which we have done, which is an IoT-based solutions, and wherein we provide our OEE solutions. That is your overall equipment efficiencies of your production lines can be calculated, and you can have a real-time efficiency monitoring on your lines. Now, talking a little bit about loyalty programs. Almost about 130 years back, it all started by the company, which is Betty Cooker, who started in 1896 the first loyalty program. And then it became a way of life in the industry. So from airlines to food supply or the food chains, from the theaters to retail, the hotels, car, cars, hotels and restaurants, cars, coffee, and you look at it into any area of operations where the business is, the loyalty program. It picked up in the last century, and almost we all have experienced the loyalty programs in some or the other way. It's a part of a daily life now, and where in you go to the market and you will find you are a part of some or the other loyalty programs. But I'm sure that most of us will agree that we are not on any kind of a loyalty program when it comes to maybe pharmaceuticals or agrochemical industries or seed industries. That is something which is yet to be explored, or there are very few loyalty programs which may be operational as on today. I'll share you a live example as well during the course of this presentation. Now, looking at the loyalty programs, how does it pays off? Help to acquire data, not just a repeat purchase. It is, most of us think that loyalty program is all about repeat purchase, but that's not just the aspect of the loyalty program. It is going to be a lot of data acquisition which happens during the loyalty program, and we will talk about it in detail during the course of this presentation. Loyal customers directly impact profitability. We all know this is something which is, and underlined aim of a loyalty program because it increases your sales, and that's why it increases your profitability. But it is not just about the profitability of the selling partner, it is also about the profitability to the buying partner. So that's what the loyalty programs are designed for. Target customer acquisitions accurately. This is something an important part because when you are running a loyalty program, you want to bring in as many customers as possible in your fold, and you want to target them. You want to go to the right customers at the right time to make sure that they become your customer and they become your customers for life. Rapid market penetration with coalition programs. You can have these loyalty programs running as the coalition programs. You can have your dealers, distributors, you can have your uh, other partners, retailers, all as a coalition partners, and these programs can be made very, very effective and can be made very, very comprehensive when it comes to partnerships. Now, when we look at it, the building blocks of the loyalty program, we spoke a little bit about collecting the data. So, the first and the foremost aspect of the loyalty program is collection of the data. And data is today, everything is about data. And when we talk specifically for the how Jekson can support in this is that Jekson's solution of track and trace produces millions of data on everyday basis. So millions and millions of data is getting generated on an everyday basis for a product authentication. And that data or that platform can be utilized for the loyalty programs. And that is where the data becomes a very primary source for introduction of the loyalty program. Marketing channels. It is extremely important that the right information is reaching to your customers. So your marketing channels are always being able to communicate with your customers and provide the right information at the right time to your customers. Alliances. We spoke a little bit about alliances when we look at it, your distributors, your retailers, your partners, your co-manufacturers, these alliances can be made very, very effective in terms of a loyalty program. What is a value proposition? The first thing when you ask or anybody asks you to join a loyalty program, the first thing which comes in mind is that what is my value proposition? What is it I am going to get out of it? Or my information is just going to be shared in the in like will be shared in the market, and that is not the purpose. So value proposition is extremely important, that what is the value proposition you are getting out of these kind of a loyalty programs. Sales promotion, a very customized and very personalized sales promotions can be achieved, because today when you look at the market, it is extremely important that when we are dealing with our customers, the information which is being passed on to customers should be very, very personalized. And this kind of a personalized information or the sales promotions can be adhered to through the loyalty programs. What is going to be our investment ratios? What is going to be our sales? And what is going to be the customer benefit? It is not just about investment by the manufacturing company. It is also with regard to investments done by the buyer and how he is going to get benefited out of these loyalty programs. Brand extensions. What is it that is important? When you're looking in the market, the brand, what your product carries is a very, very important aspect of your business. And does your loyalty program extends your brand, gives that assurance to a customer that he's dealing with the right company and the right product is in his hands to buy. So this is where the loyalty program makes the first journey. So what is a Jekson advantage? Why is Jekson talking about a loyalty program being a track and trace and an inspection solution provider? So when we look at it, we are talking about customer engagement. What is a loyalty program? Loyalty program largely is a customer engagement program. Now, what where Jekson comes in picture is that advanced track and trace technology driving engagement. So we spoke about that there is a million and millions of million data which is getting generated almost on an everyday basis during the process of track and trace. So each and every product of your product which you are producing has a fingerprint on it, which is with regard to track and trace. So fingerprint, what I mean is either a QR code or a 2D code or some kind of coding system which is there on a product. That could be the trigger point for a loyalty program. And that is where Jackson's knowledge and Jackson's expertise will come in play. Creating value, and we are going to talk about on the point number one a little bit more in the next slides. Creating value beyond product sales. This is something important. We are going to create a value. So value in what terms? This is also, which is extremely important. Am I buying a product and only getting a points, or there is more value to it by having a program which is connected to track and trace? Moving towards customer specific services, because today, when we talk about a global, specifically, I would take an example of pharmaceutical. When you look at the specific services, world is moving towards personalized medication. Today, the way we buy medication is that we go, there is a prescription, we buy a prescribed medication from any of the drug stores nearby. The market is moving, maybe down the line 10 years, it will be very, very popular that you will get your personalized medication. That is, you will get the packs which are being made for you, which contains your name and your prescription drugs. And that is where the market is moving towards. And that is where the specific services are needed. Ensuring transparent communication about product details. And this is also what is being ensured through the loyalty programs. Now we spoke about what is an advantage, ensuring authenticity and combating the counterfeit products. This is what Jekson is into. Today, when through a track and trace platform, what we are doing is we are ensuring that the product which is reaches you is authentic, which is a very important aspect of the business today. It is also a regulatory compliance. It is increasing, and down the line, maybe 10, 15 years, every product which we buy from the market will come with a track and trace in place. And this track and trace solution or this track and trace platform is something which we are going to use to ensure that we have a very effective loyalty program, wherein as an advantage, you're not only getting an authenticity of the product, you're not getting just about that the product is a right and is safe to use. You are also getting entered into a loyalty program. And we will talk about it. So how it works is that on any product which you see in the market, any pharmaceutical, non-pharmaceutical product, specifically when you see in the market, you see a barcode, you see either a QR code or a 2D code. Just scan that particular code. It automatically takes you onto the URL and you get a authorization that the product is authentic or it's a counterfeit. If it's an authentic product, you are safe to use that particular product. But this is the same way you will also get into the loyalty programs. So the customer loyalty programs, when we talk about the customer loyalty programs, It's a seamless acquisition, enhanced interactions, convenient redemption of the points through product serialization. And that is what you will see in the next slide. So how do you do this? You as a pharmaceutical or a non-pharmaceutical company, you will implement the QR code along with your URL on the product, which is a compliance requirement. So you are already doing it. You are, as a part of a compliance, you are already doing it. What you are going to add to this is just a loyalty program. So when you implement a QR code, how does it work? You scan it, open a link, go to the URL, you register yourself from the registered mobile number, you register yourself as a member, get product authentication. We saw that this is an advantage. You are getting a product authentication on this automatically because you are on your registered mobile number. Automatically, the points get accumulated into your loyalty program. You will also be able to get a very personalized information on the product, their advantages, their side effects, their disadvantages, any new development, anything. Maybe a short video, maybe a video with regard to how to use that particular product. All that can be, information can be attained from the URL, and a very easy way of redemption of points. This is one of the use case examples, this is a product which is being used at my home. So this is from my personal life, I have brought this. This is an eye drop, which is meant for ailment, glaucoma. Now, this is a lifelong drug. That is, you have to use this drug rest of my life or rest of the life of the patient. This drug has to be used. The company has learned this particular product contains a QR code. So you get an authentication on the product. Along with that, there is a telephone number which has been provided. So you have to register through that telephone number. And the proposal is that if you buy 3 of these, the fourth one you get delivered free at your doorstep. So this is a loyalty program. So this is one of the examples I found into the pharmaceutical industry, wherein a product you buy more and you get the fourth one free. And that is a use case example. It is from a large pharmaceutical company from India. And that is where this kind of a program is already. So I said largely, if you see, we are not on the loyalty programs into pharmaceuticals, but leaving few. And this is one of the use cases of having a loyalty program on the pharmaceuticals. Now, when we talk in terms of loyalty programs, when we talk in terms of track and trace, when we talk of the first and the foremost thing which comes in picture is why there is a necessity of track and trace and why what is a need or from where the counterfeit products enter into the market. And that is where the role of supply chain monitoring comes in. Because most of the counterfeit product you will see, they will enter into the market through the leakages into the supply chain monitoring. And that is where the challenge is. So and so forth. It is also extremely important that in terms of a loyalty program, say when you are looking at the loyalty programs, not only for the end user, you are also looking for the loyalty programs for your dealers, for your retailers, over and above your end users. So you can have a multi-layer loyalty programs. And if you have a very effective supply chain monitoring system, when a product moves from one location to another, and if it goes, and if that particular location is entitled for getting the loyalty programs, you will be by a single scan, a loyalty can be added or can be granted to the dealer or to the retailer. Precise monitoring of the product movement throughout the supply chain, which is extremely important because when you look at it, we spoke about a little bit about leakages into the supply chain monitoring. And this monitoring will only help you to ensure that no counterfeit product. The aim of Jackson is that there should be no counterfeit product entering into the market. And that is what we are into. And that is where we say that if there is a very strong supply chain monitoring, the chances of a counterfeit product entering into market is low. Implementation of a track and trace system ensures full visibility and control across the supply chain. So this is where you are already doing it. You have track and trace in place, and this is something which can enhance capabilities of track and trace, can provide you the complete visibility across the supply chain and monitoring, and can also support your loyalty programs at a multi-layers. Enables loyalty programs at each sales levels, enhancing engagement and retention. And this is where it is, because if you look at it from the perspective of dealers or retailers, if they are keeping your product and if they are getting something additional out of it, that is the advantage what you can provide to your dealers and retailers. This is how the inventory in the supply chain looks like. So from the manufacturer to the warehouses, from warehouses to your distributors, from distributors to wholesalers and wholesalers to retailers, what product has moved or exchange has happened between warehouse to distributor or manufacturer to warehouse, what material has gone, which location, that is something which you can completely monitor. There is over and above, there is also at times we have come across few challenges, which I will mention it out here is you find a product at times as a company, you launch certain product for certain markets, but you find that your product is being scanned at an area where it is not, which was not supposed to be. So you know that the product has crossed borders and it is getting scanned in an area where it was not supposed to be. It was not being launched for that particular area. And those alerts you can get through your attaching the geotagging to your programs. When you are looking at any of your customers as a part of a loyalty, so whosoever scans a product as a part of a geotagging, you will come to know that where exactly the product is getting scanned, ensuring that the right product is getting scanned and sold at the right location. So there is no chance, or there is an alert, at least an alert, if the product is not at the right location. Now, the another aspect of this is having a very effective depot management systems. Because when we speak about uh, a complete supply chain, your depot management system. So Jackson provides a complete solution for a depot management as well. So when you look at the depot management, if you have a very well managed depots and when you have a very organized dispatches which can take place out of your depot, the probability of any counterfeit product entering or probability of having a right product at a right place and right time is very, very high. And that is where the warehousing and the depot management systems come in picture. In our everyday life, this is something which we cannot avoid. Controls over product recalls and reworks, maybe because of some reasons, because of some challenges. You maybe one out of 1,000 or maybe one out of 100,000, you have a product recall or you have to do some kind of a rework. The system supports that. Today, once the product has left and is already in the market, you actually do not know where exactly your product is sitting. But having a very, very effective supply chain management monitoring and a depot management, you could be very well aware of where exactly the product is. And if you want to reach even to your end user who have this particular product in their stock for the consumption. You can reach them out and you can tell them that this product is on a recall. This kind of a transparency can be achieved. I don't know whether this is a right way of doing it, but yes, this is something the platform provides you ability to reach your end user, up to your end user, if there is any challenge on the product. And as a pharmaceutical industry, can I can be assured, be can be sure of that it's a very ethical industry, wherein uh, if there is a challenge, there is a challenge. And pharmaceutical industry is one of the industries which have never shied away taking a responsibility if there is a some miss. We also spoke a little bit about branding. So when we spoke about the branding, it's an ultimate aim of every industry, every product, that you are enhancing your brand image. And when you have of such a transparent loyalty programs, when you are every time a product is being purchased, you are ensuring that this product is a right product. You are ensuring that the product is going to meet the requirement for which it is being manufactured for. It has reached the right people at the right time and the right place. You can be rest assured of that people will respect your brand. And that is the ultimate aim, what we all are working for, that our brand is enhanced, our brand is respected, and our brand provides the solutions or provides the purpose, fulfills the purpose for which it has been manufactured for. This is what you can achieve through the brand enhancement programs. You can run your brand enhancement programs on your loyalty platforms. This can reach to your customers in the language which they demand, in short videos. All that can be reached through your loyalty programs and the platform through your URLs. We started with data. So there is a lot of data which is getting generated in this process. The data based on products, customers, assets, location, party data, supplier data, vendor data, employees data, reference and leisure data. This is something which can be managed and can be managed by Jekson platforms. So there is a lot of data management which is a part and parcel of our solutions. And when you look at these datas, the future of any company today would lie on how effectively they are able to handle their data, how effectively they are able to utilize their data. And specifically, when it comes to the data with regard to products and customers and locations, this is something extremely important. And if you run a program where your customers are going to get some product updates, some new developments on the product, you can see that how happy they will be. Okay, that there is a personalized data management, or there is a personalized communication which is happening from the company with which they are associated with. We also spoke a little bit about resource. Now, when you look at the loyalty program, the solution for resource, which is Jackson's L4 solution or an enterprise level solution, is something which can handle the entire modules of loyalty, warehouse management systems, depot management systems, redemption points. All that can be handled through the Jackson resource. Resource is an enterprise level. Over and above maintaining your entire, I would say, track and trace solutions, maintaining your entire product masters and details about the products and their track and trace solution, to say data, all that. It can also have modules which can support the complete loyalty programs and so on and so forth. So the resource is a platform which is, and maybe Jackson is one of the first companies which has thought about going into this or venturing into this area. And that is where we are looking at it from the perspective of that the world will move towards more and more personalized information. The world will move towards more and more customer loyalties. And how do we ensure that the companies we are working with are ready for tomorrow? Just to give you some data, this is specifically for the pharmaceutical, being a industry almost about $8.96 trillion globally. Approximately about $1.5 trillion are being spent on medicines alone. The overall healthcare industry is almost about $9 trillion. And if we talk about India alone, about 15 to 20% of our household income goes into medical or the healthcare related expenses, which is quite substantial. We as a country are spending, every household is spending approximately about 3,700 rupees on taking care of their health of their dear ones. And that is the kind of a potential it has. And if you are on a right platform and if you are on a right kind of a customer retention, sky is the limit. Thank you very much. Any questions? You can put your questions onto the chat box and our team will be more than happy to take these questions one by one.
Thank you, Manishji. This was very insightful. We have a question from Mr. Nishant. He's asking how to implement the solution.
So Nishant, we from the implementation perspective, if you are on any kind of a track and trace solution, then implementation is pretty easy because some kind of an information is already available on your product. And when you anybody when the market is scanning your code, if it is also has a URL attached to it, then automatically through a registered mobile number, he can reach to your loyalty programs and the points can be added. So it's, if you are on a track and trace, it is extremely, I would say it is quite easy to implement a loyalty program and enhance the capabilities of track and trace. Yes, Pushkar.
Looks like we have another question. Will implementation of loyalty program impact my track and trace compliance?
Not really. What, see, when we look at the track and trace programs, these are all as a part of the compliance of pharmaceutical industry. So mostly people are very scared to touch anything which is related to compliance. But what the loyalty program is doing, it is only trying to extract some information or extract the data out of the track and trace platform and entering it into a loyalty program. And that is where uh, it is not going to impact or it is not going to say have any challenge with your compliance with regard to loyalty program.
Thank you, Manishji. We have another question. What is L1, L2, L3, L4 from Venkat? Mr. Venkat.
So L1, L2, L3, L4, this is basically in the terminology of track and trace, if you look at, L1 is basically the equipments which are on your line level. So if you are looking at any packaging line, then L1 is the equipment which are being fitted. So camera systems, printing systems, your scanners, these are something which is an L1. L2 is a line master. That is, when you have a line, it has got a software, which is an L2 stage software, wherein it is called as a line master, and that it controls the entire line. So L1 communicates to through L2. L3 is a plant level software. So you may be having a multiple lines in your plant, and all these lines will communicate to L3. That is, L3 is capable, has a capabilities to manage multiple lines at any given point of time at a plant. So it is at the plant level. L4 is your enterprise level. That is, you may have multiple plants. As an example, you may have a plant in Mumbai, you have a plant in Hyderabad, you have a plant in Bangalore. Now, how do you connect all these plants and how do you ensure that the data is accumulated at one location? And that is where the L4 comes in picture. And there is also L5. L5 is related to reporting of this data to your channel partners. That can be a government portal, that can be to the certain markets, to your customers when you want to report this data to any government of authorities. That is what connectivities are called as L5. Yes, Pushkar.
Yes, we have another question from Mr. Vishnu. Is this compulsory for all regulatory pharma industry?
What is more, as far as track and trace is concerned, track and trace is largely now has become a part and parcel of the pharma industry in terms of when we look at it from the compliance for exports, and now there is a regulations which are getting extended for selling the products even in India. So track and trace is becoming a compliance requirement not only for exports but also for India. So yes, it's a compliance requirement, and moving forward, I think all products will fall into the track and trace uh, area in near future.
Okay, we have another question. How can we further add value with regards with personal communication with the customers?
Uh, it is extremely important to understand here that a platform of a track and trace combined with the loyalty program is giving you an opportunity to reach your end customers. This opportunity, when you are looking at I will give you a very simple example that today, say for an example, I as a patient, I'm on a diabetic drugs. I go to a store, I scan and I buy my drugs for 30 days. Now, if a company from which I have taken, say it's an ex company, but a drug manufacturer, on a 25th day, if I get a small SMS that Manish, you need to buy another set of your drugs will end in 5 days. So, what I am making sure is that I do not miss. It is not about selling a drug, it is about making sure that that the drug company is caring for my health and reminding me that I should not miss my buying the next lot of drugs. And that is the kind of a personalized communication can be achieved through the platform of loyalty programs.
Oh, great.
Does this suffice the answer?
So you'll have to respond to it. Yeah, I think it does suffice. Uh, Mr. Shalin has asked something. Does the track and trace system comply with different country regulatory requirements? Is GS1 standard throughout everywhere? So there are two
Uh,
questions.
yes, this is a question from.
Sanil Prajapati ji.
Yeah, Mr. Prajapati. Yes, these solutions comply to the regulatory requirements. We all know that the track and trace requirements are different for different countries. The normal norm of the track and trace is GS1, but yes, there are some tweaks which every country will put in to ensure that their solution becomes a unique for their country specific requirements. So it is expandable. It is something which can be taken care of. And today, as a solution provider, I can tell you that our solutions do meet the requirements of GS1, which is a basic background, I would say, platform for track and trace. Over and above the country specific regulatory requirements, like there are different regulatory requirements for EU, there is a different regulatory requirements for MENA region, there is a different regulatory requirement for Russia. We comply to all those requirements, keeping the platform as GS1. Did I answer both the questions, please?
Yes, sir, you have. It's like uh, we um, have no questions as of now. Does anyone have some questions? They can mail us at marketing@jacksonvision.com, and we'll definitely, with guidance from Mr. Manish, we'll definitely revert to you on your queries.
So there's nothing, no more questions.
Yes, no more questions
Okay.
as of now.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, buddy.
Thank you, everyone.